Good Friday morning, people. Question for you lefties out there. Are you proud of what you guys are trying to do in the Congress right now? Trying to ram this through, trying to change the rules in order to just deem a bill passed? I'll leave the link in the sidebar, but I highly suggest everybody go listen to Mark Levin last night call for the removal of Louise Slaughter because of her unconstitutional tax of trying to deem the bill passed. Levin was very specific in, when you read Article 1, Section 7 of the Constitution, it's specifically clear that a bill gets passed out of the Senate, goes to the House, it's the same exact bill that they have to vote on in the House. But, if a majority of Americans want health care and you don't have a majority in the Congress to pass it, how are you passing it then? Oh, trickery, bribery, deception, thievery. Typical Democratic tactics.
When I went to see the surgical intensive care unit resident, I told him my dad had hit his wall, that he couldn't take any other work, that it was now terrifying torture, that he needed it to stop. But I said, look, I'm his health proxy. We've had conversations about end-of-life care. We've had them in here. We've had them when he was home and well. I am not operating in the dark here. I said, I think he really wants the one word he keeps mouthing. He wants help. Is there any medical reason not to, I don't know, give him some sedation? Some sort of mental vacation from being the patient? The resident thought that was a damn good idea and said it would also help his breathing, which the respiratory therapist had noticed wasn't quite right that night. So when I came in and gave my father the song and dance about how put out the doctors were, really I was just stalling. I started to read to him again, and he was still thrashing his head from side to side in utter frustration. And then he started to calm down and enjoy the story, and as he began to close his eyes and rest, the nurse slipped in and injected a sedative into one of his IVs. And as I left the hospital that night, the full impact of these last 6 months washed over me. What I had done, conferring with the resident in ICU, the conversation about my father's panicky, not in complete control of his faculties demand that all treatment now stop, about the options and the consequences and the compromise, the sedation, the help for a brave man who just needed a break. That conversation, that one, was what these ghouls who are walking into Blair House tomorrow morning decided to call death panels. Your right to have that conversation with a doctor, not the government, but a doctor, and your right to have insurance pay for his expertise on what your options are when Dad says, kill me, or what your options are when Dad is in a coma and can't tell you a damn thing, or what your options are when everybody is healthy and happy and coherent and you're just planning ahead. your right to have the guidance and the reassurance of a professional who can lay that all out for you. That's a, quote, death panel, unquote. That right now is the legacy of the protests of these subhumans who get paid by the insurance companies, who say these things for their own political gain, or like that one fiend, for money. For money. Betsy McCoy told people that this conversation about life and death and relief and release, and also about, no, keep treating him no matter what happens until the nation runs out of medicine. She told people that's a death panel, and she did that for money. It's a life panel. A life panel. It can save the pain of the patient and the family. It is the difference between you guessing what happens next and you being informed about what probably will. And that's the difference between you sleeping at night or second guessing and third guessing and 30th guessing yourself. And it can also be the place where the family says, we want you to keep him alive no matter what. We believe in miracles. And the doctor says, yes. Nobody gets to say no except the patient and the family. It's a life panel. And damn those who call it otherwise to hell. Or what about the guy out there whose father is 50 and he's mouthing the word help? And the guy knows what his father doesn't know, that the insurance company has just declared the illness the father has is a pre-existing condition, and he has no more insurance. And when that son goes out to talk to that doctor about what to do next, even if there is a chance of recovery, that son can't afford to pay for it. That is the goddamned death panel, Sarah Palin.
House members, you have to take this deal. This is Ed talking tonight to you again. President Obama deserves your support. His presidency rides on this technicality of everybody passing this, passing that, remassaging, fixing, reconciliation, boom, we got a bill. But if we can't get the Democrats to get along with the Democrats on just some major issues of, say, covering 30 million Americans, getting rid of the pre-existing condition, and those are just a couple. Can the left and the right of the Democratic Party, can you come together on this one issue, just one time? Because this is what the president campaigned on. It's not a perfect bill. In fact, the bill sucks in a lot of areas. But for the most part, it ain't all that bad. And we have fought the good fight on this show. I'm a single-payer guy, didn't get it. Public option, we're still in the mix. I know the insurance industry is going to get 30 million new customers, but you know what? You can't wipe them out of the game right away. What would Ted Kennedy do? Would he take this deal? I think he would. And House members are going to have to take this deal if we're going to move this process along. Another big reason. Democrats, why would you want to hurt people who are in debt because they got sick? Why can't we prevent that right now? We can with this bill. We can with this bill. There's enough good in it that we got to, I guess you could say, this is Eddie selling out now. We got to take this deal. We got to take a leap of faith in the House. We have to encourage our House of Representatives on the Democratic side to gather and take a leap of faith that they will do this in the Senate. This is why this legislation has to pass. And I don't care about Senate procedure. Somehow you have to figure this out in this building, because I've proven it on this show tonight. There are Americans who are dying. I don't care if you're left, right, blue, green, center, whatever. It's time to move, Democrats. It's time to put your ego in your pocket, put your differences aside, and pass the damn bill.